Hello, my name is Rhea, and I've been riding a motorcycle for 3 years. Crazy to think about, actually. There's so many things that I wish I knew before buying this motorcycle, so I thought I'd put together a little video, kind of go over those things. Hopefully this helps out any other beginners out there, saves you some time, saves you some money. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the things I wish I knew before buying a motorcycle. Now, the first thing I wish I knew, or I guess I thought about more before buying my motorcycle, is I wish I would have considered the type of riding I'll be doing. Good things to ask yourself would be, will this replace my car and be my only method of transportation? Is it a fun weekend thrill ride, or do I mostly commute in the city traffic? Or am I going long distances on the highway? These are really good things to consider because it may completely change the type of bike you end up buying. Which leads me to my next point. I didn't know there were so many different types of motorcycles to choose from. There's a world of different types of bikes that you'd be surprised might actually fit your vibe or riding style better. So I definitely wish I would have done a bit more research into that before buying my first bike. Next thing is consider your budget. I really didn't know what a good beginner price range was for motorcycles, so let me tell you from my experience. I would estimate $4,000 to $6,500 for your first bike. And this is an out-the-door price, so this includes taxes and dealership fees. Another thing that's budget related is I wish I knew how expensive good riding gear actually is, and I would budget out at least $700 to $900 just for gear. That sounds like a lot, but you really don't want to skimp out on proper riding gear. I got a lot of people coming for me in the comments when I posted my first learning to ride video, and although, I was only going slow speeds in an empty parking lot, there was no way I was ready to ride out on the road. And if $700 to $900 sounds like a lot of money to you, I'd at least portion the largest part of your budget towards a good helmet with an ECE safety rating or better. You can definitely find a helmet like that for around $200. So if you want suggestions for the best motorcycle gear for beginners on a budget, I made a separate video on that, which I will link in the description box below. Next tip is I wish I knew more about engine sizes, horsepower, and what a beginner can even handle. So I've made a little checklist for you. For a beginner first motorcycle, you're going to want 650 cc's or less, 2 cylinders or less, 75 horsepower or less, and the bike should weigh 500 pounds or less. The bike should have a low seat height. This is not necessarily a requirement, but especially for short riders like myself, it's really helpful when you're learning how to ride. Now, I know what some of you guys might be thinking, and some would argue that they started on a much less powerful bike than they should have and have outgrown their beginner bike. But I'm approaching this from a very beginner perspective and considering all the different types of people out there that want to start riding a motorcycle. So if you think you can handle a bigger, heavier bike, that's cool. But if you're a beginner, you're better safe than sorry. Now, it is worth mentioning that you'll most likely want something bigger and better down the road. So I see why some people would say to get the bigger bike from the get-go, but that's not the case for everyone. Some people are just trying to figure out if motorcycling is for them. So if you're worried about the cost of having to buy a bigger bike down the road, I would just advise a beginner that less is more in this situation, and riding a motorcycle is very dangerous. And if price is really a concern, you can always buy your first motorcycle used instead of paying the big bucks for a brand new bike. Just make sure when you're buying a used bike that you're buying it from a trusted seller, because if this is your first bike purchase, you might not know what damages or issues to look out for. I got my used bike from my dealership. It was actually a trade-in, so they were able to check it out and make sure it was in good sellable condition before they put it out on the sales floor. Next thing I wish I knew, the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course, or you'll hear it called the MSF course, is actually pretty expensive. It's not necessary to take it in some states, but it's highly recommended because of how valuable the course is for beginners. The price will depend on what state you're in. For example, I think in Pennsylvania it's free, but it could range from $200 to $500 to take the course. Thankfully, my dealership was able to throw in a course voucher for me when I purchased my first motorcycle, so I technically didn't have to pay to take it. It was just thrown into the cost. So if you're buying your first bike and haven't taken the course yet, I'd try to negotiate to see if your dealership would be able to do that for you. But if not, and your state requires that you take the MSF course in order to get your motorcycle license, then I would be prepared to spend at least $200 to $500 just to take the course. Now, a surprising thing I wish I knew was the helmet face shield or visor situation. You'll need 2 different kinds of visors, or one that transitions and gets dark in the sun and clear in the shade. I got got the basic clear visor, which typically comes standard with most helmet purchases, unless you specifically select a tinted visor option. But I didn't know any better, and so I had the clear visor, and when I went out riding in the sun, my eyes were burning and it made it really difficult to see, especially during sunset. Same goes for riding with a tinted visor at night. You cannot see at all. Next thing I wish I knew is this is actually quite an expensive hobby. I had the point of view that motorcycles are really cheap, and yes, compared to a car, the price points are significantly lower, but you don't need a brand new outfit to ride a car. On a motorcycle, you're gonna need entire head-to-toe protection. But I never really thought about gear costs, equipment, or accessory costs that make riding more enjoyable. For example, if you enjoy listening to music or talking to your friends as you ride, you're gonna want some sort of helmet intercom, and those can range from $200 to $500. I currently use a CARDO intercom, and it has changed my riding experience completely. If you want to get one for yourself, you can get 25% off with my code RidewithRea. Normally, my code will only get you 10% off, but this weekend they're having an affiliate-only flash sale happening March 7th and March 8th. You must be using an affiliate code to access the sale, so you can use mine, RidewithRea. CARDO's also launching the Pack Talk Pro as a duo. You'll get more than $150 off per unit if you buy the duo. So if you're seeing this the day I post this, which should be Friday, March 6th, be sure to take advantage of the affiliate-only flash sale this weekend. In addition to a helmet intercom, accessories like a phone mount on your bike is also an extra added cost. And if you want to capture all the fun of riding a motorcycle, and this doesn't have to be for content on social media, but just for your memories, action cameras and their motorcycle mount accessories are going to range from another $300 to $600. And don't even get me started on luggage or motorcycle bags for carrying around your personal items or for long trips. Those will cost you another couple $100. Now, I'm not saying you need all of these things, but I'm just telling you that it helps a lot and it makes riding a lot more convenient. So if you want it, the costs slowly begin to creep up on you. The bright side to this, which I didn't know of before buying my bike, was that motorcycles are surprisingly easy to work on. And I was not fully aware of the endless possibilities and how almost effortless it is to complete certain upgrades. Want a cooler sound? Switch out the exhaust. You can replace the color of your brake and clutch levers, get different mirrors, handlebars, and so much more to really transform your bike and make it your own. Need an oil change? No need to pay someone to do it because you can easily save money and do it yourself. And I never considered myself handy by any means, so if I can do these things, then you can too. And when you think about the whole total costs of owning a motorcycle, it does help to know that you can do a lot of this maintenance and repairs and just really easy mods and upgrades all by yourself and not needing to go to any shop or place to pay someone to do that for you. Another thing I wish I knew before riding, or I guess wish I had someone to tell me this, was you don't have to get on the road right after you pass your MSF course or right after you get your license. It's okay to still practice in parking lots before you go out on the road. Once you're out on the road, you're not only putting yourself in danger, but you're also putting others in danger. Now, this is super straightforward and basic knowledge, but it's often forgotten and I really wish more people would remember. I thought it was actually surprisingly easy to pass the MSF course and get my license, which I was not expecting, and I felt like I still had so much more to learn. It was wild to me that I had obtained my license and now I'm allowed to get on the road with other cars. I just want to remind beginners especially that even if you have your license and you still don't feel ready for the road, it's totally okay to keep practicing your skills in empty parking lots or low trafficked back roads before you feel comfortable pushing yourself to ride on the main roads or the highways. I'd actually advise you not to do that right away. It took me about 3 months before I felt comfortable riding on the freeway here. And finally, my last tip is to shop around and compare different insurance costs. This sounds kind of obvious, I guess, but I was riding for about a year and a half, paying way too much for my insurance just because I went with the same company I had my car insured under. And they even gave me a discount because I'd been such a loyal customer of them for so long with my car, but I didn't even think to look up how much the cost would be to switch and compare different companies. I ended up saving about $150 a year by switching and finding the best coverage for my bike. So those are all the tips that I had for you and things that I wish I knew. Buying your first motorcycle is such an exciting, rewarding experience, and I really hope this video helped you out. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, CARDO is having that affiliate-only sale this weekend. You can get 25% off. I'll have that video I mentioned, the best motorcycle gear for beginners on a budget, linked in the description box below. And if you're just looking for things to buy, motorcycle-related stuff, you can check out my link tree where I have a bunch of discount codes and links on there to save you a bunch of money on any motorcycle-related purchases. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.